Yo, I'm back. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This a late stream. Don't know if I'm gonna have as many people, but we gonna rock out regardless. We gonna make it do what it do, baby. Yeah, I mean. I'm gonna give it a little bit, and I'm gonna get straight to it. Notes. What's going on, my brother? Hopped on the live again because I ain't posting no videos today. When you become like a content creator, there's sometimes where it's like I don't really know what to talk about. You know what I'm saying? In the boxing world, I ain't really been talking too much. I feel like I've been talking about everything that's relevant right now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I was on my way to work and I was thinking like, damn, what can I talk about? What can I post today? And I just couldn't come up with that. So I'm just like, when I get home, I'm gonna just chop it up with y'all. Yeah, man. He definitely did. And that's what I was gonna speak on today. But when they premiered that interview, I was already at work, so I wasn't able to jump on it. That should have came out last night or yesterday. I'd have put it out already. I would have already spoken to the nation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he definitely said some interesting things. What stood out to you about it? What stood out to you about it? Notes. He's been doing a lot of media too, which I think is dope, man. You know, he need to get outside his comfort zone and start speaking to the people and start getting his fan base up. Maintain that momentum that you just got after that performance, man. Maintain that momentum. Stay in people's face, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is when Bud really needs to, put himself out there. You know what I mean? Because he just came off a dominant victory of one of the most meaningful fights in the past 1 to 2 decades. Man, keep your face on these people. Keep your face on these TV screens, man. Show these people you here. Let them know who you are now. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't know you before, let them know who you are now. Saying Canelo. Also, I really ain't mess with how you not giving Boots a shot. You talking about me? I'm not giving Boots a shot? I don't know if you mistyped that or what. You mean him? Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna add Jerron Anderson to caption, but when you writing down titles, they only give you 100 letters. You know what I'm saying, to work with. So, but anyway, let's get to it, man. First of all, shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. I'm back in the building, man. Like I said, I wasn't able to come up with no videos earlier because I didn't really know how to go about the videos, man. I didn't know what to talk about, but since we got this interview with Bud Crawford on the Breakfast Club and him speaking with Gail King and them on that morning show that he was on, it was pretty dope, man. It was definitely dope. I like that Bud is starting to show some of his personality because I just felt like while he was with Top Rank, he was real reserved and he wasn't really too fond of interviewing with many people. You know what I mean? And then when he did good interviews, he was pretty like, He's pretty reserved. He didn't want to give too much of his personality out there. You know what I mean? Now he's starting to sit down, come to the table. You know what I mean? Talk about his upbringing. You know what I mean? His family side and how he came up in the boxing. You know what I mean? He's starting to show more of himself, and he actually got a dope personality, man. So I hate that he waited this long to show this side of himself, but better late than never. You know what I'm saying? So and shout out to Charlamagne for apologizing to Terence Crawford about because he had been going out for years talking about how he believed Errol Spence was too big and how he was gonna dominate Terence Crawford. He felt like Errol Spence was gonna win. And then Terence Crawford came back. He really came over there to make Charlamagne apologize. He didn't really care to talk to him. You could tell. He just came back to show them, like, look what I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all doubted me, and, I'm here now. So now what y'all got to say? You know what I mean? And he wasn't trying to hear what Charlamagne was initially trying to get off. He was like, nah, man, like, you got to apologize. You know what I mean? So Charlamagne had to eat crow. You know what I mean? And he had to admit that he was wrong. And there's nothing wrong with admitting this, bro. Like, with boxing, you're not going to get every prediction right. You know what I mean? And I see a lot of these channels and just people in general, when they get a prediction wrong, they go and hide it, man. I mean, they try to pop back up when they think everybody forget about it, which is crazy. Yeah, he sat at his chair. Yeah, as he should. As he should. He the man of the hour. He the king of the throne right now. He the man of the hour. He the king of the throne. He the king of boxing right now. He might not be the pay-per-view star, but he's the pound-for-pound #1 king in boxing. Let that man sit in that chair. Charlamagne, he wasn't going to fight to get Terence Crawford up out that chair anyway. Shit. But he did say some interesting things in that interview. I'm gonna start off with he made Charlamagne apologize. Let me turn this damn light on. Oh, there you go. He made Charlamagne apologize, so that's one. Then he started giving them a little conversations, you know what I mean, saying how he felt after the fight and what his thoughts were on the fight. What was interesting was that he said that he texted Errol Spence after the fight to make sure he was good. Errol Spence responded, so they went about things in a real professional, gentleman-like way. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no beef. They wasn't the trash talk that they had was just from a competitive standpoint. It wasn't nothing really personal. You know what I mean? And they just kept it cool the whole time. And they really showed that they could sell a fight without having to disrespect each other, act like clowns, you know what I mean? Or be all up, they face all in the media, acting foolish. They really showed that they could go about things in a professional, appropriate way and still do numbers. So that's something that a lot of these new up-and-coming fighters had to take into consideration, specifically black and brown fighters. You don't have to act the fool to get some type of publicity, man. If you do what you need to do in the sport, you beat who you need to beat, you keep adding on to your accomplishments in the sport, your fighting is going to sell itself. You know what I mean? You don't got to do too much. That's what Andre Ward been preaching his whole career. You know what I mean? Like, they wanted him to act a certain way, but he went against it and did things his way. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is, man. So I thought that was interesting. Terence Crawford, they had asked him about what his thoughts were on Gervonta Davis, saying he'll knock Bud out in 6 rounds, and he went about that in an appropriate way too. You can tell a lot of stuff don't really bother Crawford anymore. That's just a sign of confidence. You know what I mean? When you confident in yourself, there's not too much that can really rattle you. And you can tell that Gervonta Davis trash talk didn't really rattle him. And he said that he'll stay at 147 to fight with Gervonta Davis. You know what I mean? So if Gervonta Davis out here talking about he can knock Crawford out in 6 rounds, and Crawford saying that he'll accept the fight at 147, I would love to see what Tank's response will be to that. You know what I mean? Are they going to fight? No, they're not going to fight at all. But I would love to know what Gervonta Davis's take is on it. You know what I mean? Because he's never been at 147. But if you calling out the guy who's the undisputed champion, the now undisputed champion, but at the time he had called Crawford out. Crawford just had the WBO. But now that he's the undisputed champion, he's the man of the ring. You know what I mean? And Tank was confident in Errol Spence winning. He was wrong, so now what? You know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting as well. But he doesn't really give too much like eyes on the Jaron Ennis type fight. Tank ain't even post nothing since he got out. Glad he good. Yeah, bro, he good, man. But he always gets quiet when he doesn't really have no fights going on and stuff like that. I think he do be on social media. He just don't be posting nothing. You know what I mean? He just be in his own little world, bro, attending to his family, his daughters. You know what I mean? Just going about his life however he want to go about it. Maybe he's trying to maintain some type of privacy. You know what I mean? And he'll speak whenever there's a fight coming up, whenever they get a fight announced. He definitely got some things going on. So, you know what I mean? It is good that he's free. You know what I mean? Hopefully he learns something from this experience and he can just move on and have a clean slate for the rest of his career and life. You know what I mean? So that's dope. What else? What else? Oh yeah, what I was speaking on is that he wasn't really too fond of speaking on Jaron Ennis, and that's not a fight that he's really looking at right now. You guys got to take into consideration that Boots is probably like a year older than me, right? He like 26, 27. I think he's 26. Me and him are around the same age, but regardless, Boots is a young guy, right? He has a lot of time to do a lot of things in the sport of boxing. Terence Crawford is going to be 36 next month, right? So you got to think that Terence Crawford, and he says he doesn't want to fight too long. You know what I'm saying? He said he feels fresh. You know what I mean? He hasn't really taken any punishment, which is true. You know what I mean? Like inside the ring, he hasn't really. I don't know what goes on beyond them gyms, but how the way he's looked, he looks fresh. He's taken minimal damage in his career, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? Especially in his last fight. So, Floyd Mayweather says it all the time. I heard Bernard Hopkins say it. The less punishment you take, the longer you'll last in the sport. And that's evident with Terence Crawford. He looks like a young guy, but at the end of the day, Father Time is undefeated. You know what I mean? And Terence Crawford also said that he wants to retire from the sport before the sport retires him. So you already know where his mindset at, man. He wants the biggest fights possible. He doesn't want to fight these. He doesn't want to have any tune-ups. Not saying Boots is a tune-up. He's far from a tune-up, but he doesn't want to take fights for the baby money. You know what I'm saying? Or money that he feel like he should have more. Like he should feel like if Boots is a $2 million fight, he probably don't even want to look in that direction, especially off of that payday he just got against Earl Spence. So I think he just wants the most meaningful fights with the biggest bag. You know what I mean? And even though he'll get a lot, he'll definitely get a lot of credit, in my opinion, for beating somebody like Jaron Ennis. And I think it'll speak volumes. It'll definitely add to his legacy. But he's probably looking at it like it's not enough money in this situation for me to even consider this fight. So his eyes are locked in on the Jermell Charlos of the world for undisputed, so he could become 3-time. He might consider the Tim Tszyu fight just to get that belt to put him in position to be undisputed. And he also mentioned Canelo at a catch weight of 158. You know what I'm saying? I see some people complaining about that. Like, why would you want to fight Canelo at a catch weight? It's like, bro, do y'all not know Canelo? Do y'all not know Canelo? This dude is like one of the catch weight kings, right along with Manny Pacquiao, bro. This man Canelo done made everybody fight at catch weights. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why can't he fight at a catch weight? You know what I mean? 158. But the problem is Canelo could easily say, like, I can't, it's too hard for me to make the weight at 160. You know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't fought at 160, I don't know, since probably like Daniel Jacobs. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit further down the line. There's probably some fights after that he took at 160, but for the most part, he hasn't been at 160 for years. You know what I mean? Yeah, notes like they acting like Canelo not the catch weight king out here, man. He had people fighting at they named the weight after him. That's how often he was fighting at catch weights. When he was fighting at 155, they was calling it Canelo weight. So that goes to show you exactly like how much of a catch weight, like how much that was a theme in his career. It was a constant theme in his career. Catch weights. That's what he got into, bro. So, I mean, if Crawford want to fight him at a catch weight, why not? Canelo did it. Why he can't do it? You know what I mean? So, that'll be a dope fight. I feel like a lot of people aiming at Canelo for fights. You know what I mean? But I just don't see that happening. I don't think Canelo gonna lose that weight. I think that he's just going to stay in the 168 area. I doubt he'll be going to 160 anytime soon, even though that might be a better weight class for Canelo, because it seems like Canelo doesn't have to train that hard to get down to 168, especially 175. And you can see it in his conditioning. Like, you can tell that he probably doesn't do too much in camp to get the weight down. So he doesn't really push himself from a cardiovascular standpoint. And he's not really in top shape like that. But maybe if he get them 8 pounds off of him and be at 160, then maybe he might have that extra gas in his tank. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? I don't know exactly what's going on with Canelo. I don't know what his walk around weight is. I don't know. Yeah, a weight class that never existed. Facts. So yeah, Terence Crawford interview. I don't think I watched it all the way through, but I did catch like the most important things that he said throughout the interview. So shout out to Terence Crawford, man. Shout out to him really being out here and really just exposing himself to the world, just showing everybody who he is, and really, you know what I mean, doing what he has to do after a good win, man. Just keeping his face in the media, keeping himself relevant, and just maintaining his momentum after the victory. Because he could have easily just went quiet and disappeared, and that people would have slowly but surely forgot about the fight. But the fact that this man is staying in the media, you know what I mean, working with different people, taking on different interviews, and showing a different side of himself, that's going to play to his benefit a lot in terms of like how high his stock rises. So pretty dope, man. He said him fighting Boots is a lose-lose. Yeah, he did say that. It's a lose-lose for him. Do you agree? Well, it's all an opinion at the end of the day. It's not whether I agree or disagree or not. I think it's just more of like me understanding where he's coming from. Like, if you Terence Crawford, right? Like I said, you about to be 36 years old. You don't want to be in the sport too much longer. You want to be in this. You already feel like you're a Hall of Famer, but now you just want the biggest, most meaningful fights possible. Boots is somebody who hasn't won a world title yet. Young, up-and-coming guy that doesn't bring too much money to the table. He's starting to build his resume. He's starting to become known in the boxing world, but he's just not there yet, right? So you got to understand, Boots, in terms of resume, is unproven at the world title level, right? He's inexperienced. So what Bud is saying, if he beats Boots, hypothetically speaking, if he beats Boots, the critics are gonna be like, "Oh, you beat a guy who wasn't ready." Like how they do with Floyd and Canelo. Like when Floyd beat Canelo, he was like, "Oh, he was inexperienced. He was too green. He wasn't ready for the fight." Right? That's exactly how they're gonna treat Bud if he beat Boots. Now, if he loses to Boots, which is possible, Boots is that talented. If he loses to Boots, they'll be like, "Yo, you lost. I can't. Bud was overhyped. He lost to a young, inexperienced guy. He ain't got no chin." You know what I mean? They're going to say all this stuff about him. They're going to be like, "Oh, you lost to a guy who never got a world title. Oh, you lost to a young gun. You need to retire. You lost to." They're going to say all different. They're going to bash him. So I understand what he's talking about. It's a lose-lose situation. But me, I'm going to provide my opinion. I don't think it's a lose-lose for him. You know what I mean? Because I think that Boots, and he recognizes it too. He acknowledges how talented Boots is, how special of a fighter he is. I don't think it's a lose-lose. Because if you beat Boots, you're going to get a lot of credit from me. Because like I said, I watched Boots in the gym for years now. Back when they had the original Bosie's Dungeon, I was there. I didn't witness everything, but I seen sparks of greatness in that kid. You know what I mean? So it's like that kid is a special talent. So if he beats that, if he disposes of Gervonta Ennis, it's like, all right, this dude is like Bud just on a different level. Like he's an all-time great. That's exactly how I would approach it. You would never hear me say out my mouth that, "Oh man, Bud beat a young, inexperienced guy. Man, Boots wasn't ready for that level." You would never hear me say that because that's not true. Because you gotta think about it this way. What up-and-coming dude at 147 right now is going to beat Gervonta Ennis? You know what I mean? Like, exactly. There's nobody in the top 10 outside of like the champions that'll really give Boots problems. That's just my opinion. I don't see Ugas giving him a problem. I don't see this version of Keith Thurman giving Boots a problem. The only ones I see that could provide some type of problem for Boots is the number 1 and number 2 guy, which was Earl and Bud. Those are only ones, bro. He's gonna make everybody look bad, bro. Those are only ones that could possibly give Boots some fits. So it's like, how can you say that he wasn't ready for this level when he's disposing of everybody that's on the level behind them? It's like if he's not ready now, when he gonna be ready? Who will he have to defeat before y'all will say he ready? You know what I mean? So, and I don't want to hear this age shit because there's guys from the youngest world champion in boxing history was 17 years old. You know what I mean? David Morrell, he had like 2 fights before he got a world title. Look how young he is. Bam Rodriguez is a champion right now. He's a young guy. You know what I'm saying? So age don't really play a part. And Boots got over 30 fights, bro. Like, when else is he gonna be ready? Like, when Canelo fought Floyd, this man, I think he had like 40 wins already. 40-something. He was 40-something and old. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a win-win. I don't think it's a lose-lose situation for Bud. Me personally, he'll get my credit 1,000%. And if he loses the Boots, it's just that Boots is just that special. It's just his time. I wouldn't disrespect Bud after a loss to Boots. I wouldn't. But I understand what he's saying because a lot of like the casual boxing fans, it's just a disrespectful, fickle boxing fans are gonna bash him. You know what I mean? And this is, and I said this yesterday on my last stream. The biggest reason why these guys don't want to take the risk and fight these top fighters is because they don't want to face the lashing that they're gonna receive from the media if it were a situation that they lose. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody got thick skin. You know what I mean? Some people feelings be hurt. Some people be victims of cyberbullying. Like, this is a real thing. And they don't want to deal with the backlash that could come with a loss. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're not scared to fight this fighter, but they're scared of losing that status after a possible loss. You know what I'm saying? See, 42-0. Yep. See, Tank became champion at 20. Was he 22? Wow. Yeah. And that was a hell of a fight. That's my favorite performance from Tank Davis was against Jose Pedraza. That was like my favorite performance from him. He rose to the occasion and he showed out, bro. That was an A1 performance. I love that performance against Pedraza, and I love that performance against Isaac Cruz. Those are my 2 favorite showcases. And I love when he fought Jesus. What was it? Jesus Aguilar? No, I probably got that shit all wrong. Jesus Cuellar. When he fought him at the Barclays, I was there live watching it. Simply dominated. Smart and sharp, bro. It was a great performance. Tank, I don't know why people just talk about his power. This kid is well-rounded. But anyway, I was on social media. I was on Instagram a few hours back. I was on my way back home from work. Everyone thought Pedraza was going to win. Yeah, I remember that, bro. They thought that he was too experienced, and they thought that Tank at the time was biting off more than he could chew. I remember that. A lot of people was doubting Gervonta, and that's why after the fight he lashed out. So that's why he was so emotional after the fight. Like, he got on top of the ropes and was beating his chest and was yelling at the crowd because a lot of people was doubting Tank in that fight. They didn't think he had what it took to defeat Pedraza. Pedraza was a top guy at 130 at the time. You know what I mean? He was a top guy. And then he went on to be world champion like several times after the fact. You know what I mean? So it wasn't, and fought guys like Lomachenko, it still wasn't getting stopped. Like, he gave Lomachenko fits. Like, Pedraza could fight, bro. He could fight. You know what I mean? He's on the later end of his career now, but Jose Pedraza could rumble, man. And he bounced back and became world champion again. So that just makes Gervonta Davis's resume look better. It makes his win look better. For real, it do. But I was on Instagram a few hours back. I was on my way home from work, and I seen that Demetrius Andrade had posted a video of him doing some strength and conditioning. You know what I mean? Strengthening the arms or whatever. And that boy is already looking like he's in some type of shape. You know what I mean? Demetrius Andrade probably is a dude who doesn't blow up too much in weight, or maybe he's a gym rat. He stay in the gym. Whatever the case is, he already looks like he's in shape, ready to go. And if you guys haven't been following Demetrius Andrade, then what's been going on lately is that he's finalizing a deal against David Benavidez, which is a hell of a fight. This will be Demetrius Andrade's second fight at 168, and he's going against arguably the best fighter in the division. So with that being considered, is like Demetrius Andrade stepping to the plate. He really wants these big fights. You know what I mean? He was really pursuing that Jamal Charlo fight, but obviously Jamal Charlo has been having some issues. I think he battling some demons, in all honesty. So that fight doesn't look realistic, and in my opinion, I don't think that fight will ever happen. It's disappointing, but I really think that I wouldn't be surprised if Jamal doesn't fight again. That's just personally what I think. Maybe if he starts to run out of funds or have some type of financial trouble, I could see him jumping in the ring out of like desperation, trying to get bills paid. But I don't know if Jamal will be the same. You know what I'm saying? I think that man is going through some real tough times, and everything about him just seems like he's just too far off in the deep end. But I hope I'm wrong. Hopefully he bounces back mentally and comes back hungrier than ever and really start making statements out here, because Jamal was a really good fighter, man. Really good fighter. Dangerous fighter, too. A lot of fighters avoided that man. He was that dude. Especially at 154. He was dangerous. Yeah, Pedraza definitely wasn't a bum. Definitely wasn't a bum. Anybody who said he was a bum, they tripping. They must have just not did their homework on him. That's the thing too. A lot of these fans think that if they don't know a fighter, that they bums, and that just like baffles me. That blows my mind. I'm like, so because you don't know this guy, you don't think he's good. Like, what's wrong with just doing? I don't understand. Like, what's wrong with just doing your research before you just speak? It's like these dudes just be wanting to run their mouth without having no type of like education or something. Like, that's literally the textbook definition of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ignorance in the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? Yeah, Maul just, I feel like that whole situation with his ex-wife, children's mother, what have you, whatever you want to call it, I think that situation broke him, man. I seen him do like speak on his wife, and that was like his high school sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? That was like his main lover. Like, that's who he been with for so long. So, and I've been in a I can tell you guys, I've been in a long-term relationship. You know what I mean? And it's a hell of an adjustment to once you split with that person. It's a hell of an adjustment. I always been a strong dude mentally, you know what I'm saying? It's not much that could really rattle me. You know what I mean? And I really feel like I could persevere through any type of situation. That's just how I am. But what I'm trying to get across is it's a hell of an adjustment to move on and not have that person that you're so used to in your life. You know what I mean? That might be the toughest part of exiting a relationship. And maybe Jamal was experiencing that. Maybe she was using his kids as a weapon against him. These things do happen with fathers, bro. These things do happen. So maybe that situation was getting a little too deep, and he started resorting to alcohol as a result of all that stress and anxiety and stuff like that. And they say that what makes alcohol so dangerous is that if you're having any type of pain, like emotionally and shit like that, that alcohol numbs it. So maybe he's using liquor as a way to run away from his pain. You know what I mean? Shakur. I know that ain't Shakur Stevenson, but we're going to let it rock. He said, what fight more exciting, the AJ fight or the Oscar fight? In all honesty, I like the Oscar Valdez versus Navarrete fight better. I think that it's a better fight stylistically. I think it'll be a more excited fight, and it reminds me back to when Oscar fought Burchelt. I feel like there was more hype behind the Valdez and Burchelt fight. I don't know why these guys I don't know why Top Rank not really stepping on the gas with this promotion, because this is a hell of a fight, especially for the Mexican community. You know what I mean? Both of these guys are dangerous dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I think that each one is very capable of beating each other. I got a slight. I'm leaning towards Valdez just a little bit more because I think that he's a little bit more skilled. I think he's just as gritty. I think that he'll be able to make the adjustments necessary to deal with somebody like Emmanuel Navarrete. In all honesty, like Navarrete is strong. He got good conditioning, but he showed that he can be hurt. You know what I mean? And if you get hurt by somebody like Valdez, he's a good finisher, man. He's not the best finisher, but he's a solid finisher. And um, he had a highlight reel finish against Miguel Burchell. And in all honesty, I think that I think that Burchell was a higher caliber fighter than Emmanuel Navarrete was. I feel like Navarrete is real limited. You know what I mean? Like he's awkward. He throws that uppercut unexpectedly. A lot of his shots are unpredictable. But besides that, I really feel like he's limited. You know what I mean? I feel like he could be outboxed. Um, and I think that Valdez would be able to neutralize Navarrete's pressure, will give him something to think about. Like if Navarrete comes in and he throws wild, and Valdez shoots some sharp shit in between his punches or counters him real good, sets a trap and counters him real good, it'll discourage Navarrete. You know what I mean? And make him resort to being a little bit more gun shy. You know what I mean? And if Navarrete is gun shy and they sitting there just trying to outthink each other, I got Valdez winning that 9 times out of 10. He said AJ a clown, man. You can't even blame AJ. Dillian White a clown. Yeah, that's what I was saying, though. Like, I wasn't excited for the Dillian White and Anthony Joshua fight anyway. I feel like Dillian White has been given a lot of opportunities that he don't deserve. Like, this man literally what became, like, WBC mandatory for not doing anything. Like, Dillian White's most memorable fights were fights that he lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, who did he beat? Like, who did he beat, bro? Like, seriously, bro. He beat Derek Chisora. He beat that one Hispanic dude, but he ended up popping positive for PEDs around that time. You know what I'm saying? This man is a habitual cheater. He's not a good fighter at all. This man got knocked out by a washed up Alexander Povetkin, then rematched him and was able to dispose of him, but that man was already a washed fighter. You know what I mean? You had Povetkin hurt several times, you dropped him several times, and he still found a way to hit you with an uppercut and put you to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I've never been a big fan of Dillian White, even prior to the cheating. But now that he's a cheater, they need to give that man a lifetime ban from boxing. It shows that he has a true problem. He has some real insecurities about himself and his abilities. So he's looking for any way possible to get the upper hand against his opponents. You know what I mean? He's already a heavyweight. He already has power that's dangerous. So he's looking for a way to like improve his power, improve his speed. Bro, we don't need that, especially in the heavyweight division. So he's looking to actually harm people. This should be illegal. You know what I mean? This shit should be taken like as a criminal offense, in all honesty. You know what I mean? That's just what I think. I think he deserves a lifetime ban. I don't think he deserves to be in boxing anymore. At all. Canelo, Jermell press conference, August 16th. Oh, okay. I was actually looking into that. I was wondering, bro, when the press conference gonna go off? And how do y'all think that press conference gonna go? Because Jermell has a habit of running his mouth and just talking crazy to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think he gonna play it humble against Canelo? Because Canelo gonna play it cool until you say something to him, or he feel like he disrespected, then he gonna go off. Do y'all think Jermell is gonna be disrespectful going into this press conference? Do y'all think he gonna be talking that talk? You think he gonna be laid back, reserved? Like, what approach I think Jermell gonna take? I'm gonna let you know right now. He talked crazy to all his opponents. You know what I mean? He better not be quiet with Canelo, bro. You ain't have no respect for any of your previous opponents, bro. You talk crazy to all of them. You better keep that same energy for Canelo, bro. If I see that you got any type of hesitation to talk any type of way to Canelo and then you want to play the humble role, I smell pussy, bro. I'm going to just say that. No way he deserves your respect. No, man. I hope he don't keep it professional. Bro, Jermell talks crazy to everybody, bro. He was calling. And Tony Harrison and him was cool the first fight. Then after the second fight, when he lost to him, the whole buildup was like insane, calling him all types of bitch ass N-words and you know what I'm saying? Just like real loose, talking real loose. Even with Casanyo, he was talking real loose. The build-up for Tim Tszyu, he was talking real loose. Like, he look at all these dudes as his ops. Jared Hurd, he was talking crazy to him. Charles Hadley, he was talking crazy to him. Like, bro, don't start acting like you ain't got no rap now that Canelo's in your face. You got the big fight that you won and you called him out over a decade ago. You better not show that man no respect. You better act like how you act with all your other opponents. Don't switch up now that you got Canelo in your face. Yeah, and that's the mistake that a lot of these fighters make. It's like these dudes low key look up to Canelo or some shit, bro. Like they give this man too much respect. Canelo don't give a fuck about y'all. Why y'all so like in awe about the dude? He ain't nobody, bro. Like he a top caliber fighter. Don't get it wrong. He one of the most popular guys in the sport of boxing. But the man just lost like 2 fights ago? Come on, bro. He's a beatable man. He's a beatable man, bro. People need to stop treating him like he just somebody, bro. Like you need to show this man any type of respect. No, just like how you disrespect another black man, you better disrespect him too. Okay. That's all I'm saying, bro. As quick as you quit, you told Jared Hurd you'll kill him and his wife, bro. I'll kill you and your bitch, nigga. You talk wild to somebody who look just like you, share the same complexion as you. That man, Canelo, he a different looking dude. I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? He look like the white man. Keep that same energy with him that you do with the people of your own skin tone, bro. That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to make this a race thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into it all like that, even though it really do be about race most of the time. I'm just saying, you quick to disrespect a black man, you better disrespect him too. That man, he an opponent, just like all them other dudes was opponents. And you got to carry it just like that. Jamal was good at the time. Jamal, there was a point in time where a lot of people thought Jamal was better than Jamel. When he was at 154, he defeated J-Rock and when he beat the brakes off Cornelius Bundridge and all that, bro. That dude looked dangerous, man. He looked dangerous. And when he first started off at 160, he looked dangerous. You know what I mean? He looked a little vulnerable in his last fight against Montiel, but he still was hurting, dude. He still got the victory. I thought he gassed out towards the end and was like hanging on, just trying to get through the rounds. But he still looked all right. But Jamal definitely was a dangerous dude at one time. A lot of these dudes ain't want to fight him. Facts, especially when in boxing, the other man trying to take your head off. Ain't no respect till the fight is over. No, that's real shit. That's real shit. Yeah, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how Jamal approaches his press conference, bro. Because, like I said, bro, you quick to disrespect dudes that's the same complexion as you, that's the same race as you. You quick to disrespect the black man, you better be quick to disrespect that white man. That's all I'm saying. And I know Canelo Mexican, but y'all know what I'm talking about. He's of Irish descent. And if y'all do y'all research, there was a point in time where the Irish was defending Mexico when Mexico was at war with the U.S. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, a lot of Irish dudes stood in Mexico after the fact. They raised families that became their setting. And a heavy Irish ancestry developed in Mexico. That's where Canelo come from. There's a lot of famous Irish Mexican people out there. You know what I mean? Canelo is an Irish man. You know what I'm saying? People saying Mel slept Canelo similar to the plant. Nah, bro. I'm not telling Jermel to get physical with the man. You know what I'm saying? Because that could fuck up his money. That's not what I'm telling him to do. You know what I mean? I don't want him to do all that. Save that energy for that fight. What I'm telling you is, just like how you talk crazy to your own people, you better talk crazy to him too. That's all I'm saying. Don't start acting all cool now and composed now when you've been emotional your whole career. You've been emotional your whole career. You better not act like you got some type of sense now that Canelo in front of you. Nah, act how you act, bro. Man, that exchange between Canelo and Plant was A1 promotion, bro. A1 promotion. Caleb Plant don't hold his tongue. See how Caleb Plant, he talk crazy to all his opponents, the Mike Lees. He talk crazy to what the hell is that? Uskadagi. He talk crazy to Uskadagi. He talk crazy to David Benavidez. He don't care, bro. Whoever even with Darrell, the Darrell brother, he talk crazy to him. And when Canelo was in his face, he was still talking that same shit. That's how Jermel got to approach it every single time, bro. Yep. Jermel is extremely emotional. He be like, "Oh, I'm not emotional. I'm passionate." No, you're emotional, bro. Come on, man. You could be passionate about something and not do all the hissy, the temper tantrums you be throwing, bro. I'm passionate about what I do, and you don't hear me, you know what I mean, screaming to the top of my lungs, looking like everything about to set me off, and you know what I'm saying, cursing at people. You don't see me doing all that. You know what I mean? You can still be composed and be passionate at the same time. Um, but yo, I remember watching that shit live, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing when Canelo pushed Caleb Plant. He was like, "Oh no, you motherfucker! You no, yo, you call my mother? No, you don't talk about my mother. You don't talk about my mom." And Caleb Plant was like, "Yeah, motherfucker, yeah." Then they push each. Then Canelo gave him a strong push. Caleb Plant tried to play it cool. Like, I'm gonna just walk back to the face off. Try to throw a slick little slap, bro. Canelo already had that shit down packed, bro. He already knew that shit was coming. He dropped his glasses and all. He was like, huh, "Oh, this shit about to pop off. Let me drop these glasses." Pull. That boy pulled and then countered him with two slaps. Pop out. I'm like, damn. I was like, yo, this motherfucker was ready, bro. Watch that video, bro. He was like, no, you motherfucker. And Caleb Plant was walking up to him all smooth and shit. This boy Canelo just dropped the glasses and was like, yeah, I'm ready. Pulled. He made like Caleb Plant just grazed him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He probably got like two fingers on Canelo's face. Then Canelo just came back, pop, hop, split his whole shit open right here. Them glasses cut his ass or something. He was sick, bro. I thought the fight was canceled. I was like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought that needed stitches, and I'm like, fuck, they just postponed this fight. I wanted to see that fight so bad. It was an undisputed fight. I was like, damn, I wanted that fight so bad. You know what I mean? Jair good. He said White sucks. He can't defend the uppercut to save his life. That's a fact. AJ knocked him out with the uppercut, and Povetkin knocked him out with the same uppercut. You know what I mean? That's because he be real front leg heavy. So when you real front leg heavy like that, and sometimes he'll get in a tight guard, he'll be in a high guard like this and look down. Real front leg heavy. And whenever you front leg heavy, it's textbook in a boxing gym. You gotta shoot. If your opponent real leaned over like that, bro, he's susceptible to the uppercut. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. Dillian White's extremely corny. His skill set is trash. He got a strong left hook. Good. He got good power, you know what I mean? But his conditioning is trash. His skill set is trash. He's just like you know what I mean? He just got a big name because he's from the UK. UK back then guys. And he's just known for getting knocked out by Povetkin and Joshua. He's a Joshua victim. That's where he got famous from. And somehow he did very little and was able to become the mandatory for the WBC, which blows my mind. It's like, it's crazy. I felt like Eddie Hearn threw Dillian White towards Wilder's direction to avoid Anthony Joshua being in that line of fire against Wilder. I think he sent Dillian White out so he won't have to sacrifice Joshua because he make a lot more money with Joshua than he did with Dillian White. That's what I think. I've been seeing Showtime and having back-to-back press conferences, one in LA and one in New York. they might do the same. Yeah, most likely. That's how they go about their promotions, bro. They have their little like media tours and stuff like that, and they just go to the West Coast, they go to the East Coast, and they might slide to like one of the fighters' hometowns and shit like that. So they might, because California's close to Mexico, so they'll be going to Los Angeles for sure. They're gonna go to New York, you know what I mean, to touch both coasts, and then they'll resort back to training. Then they'll do their media workouts, they'll do their final press conference, they'll do their weigh-ins, and then they'll fight. You know what I mean? That's usually the Showtime blueprint. Mark, what's your thoughts on Conor Benn? I actually didn't. I actually liked Conor Benn before the cheating shit he was doing. I thought he was real explosive, strong. Had a lot of. He had a real good killer instinct. You know what I mean? Wasn't the most skilled guy, but real aggressive, explosive, and you could tell like every punch he put on you, he was trying to hurt you. And he had made some statements. You know what I mean? Like an older Chris Algieri. I get it, he was older, but I never seen Chris Algieri go out like that. You know what I mean? Besides that, I didn't really see too many fights from him, but I honestly thought that he understand that he was at a disadvantage against somebody like Chris Eubank. So maybe he was thinking that he needed some type of advantage to neutralize that size difference. So I think he did resort to PEDs. That's what I honestly think he did. You know what I mean? I think that he was using performance enhancement drugs to try to neutralize the size difference because it was a 2 weight class difference. Eubank has even had fought as high as 168. So I think he got the IBO belt at one particular time at 168. So, and Conor Benn's at 147, so you're talking about 50. You talking about 54, 60, 68. He's 3 weight classes away from you. So it's like, with that being considered, that's something that I bet Conor Benn was thinking about. He's like, damn, like, I don't want to be at too much of a disadvantage. I need something to, like, make this shit level. I'm not trying to justify him being a cheater at all. You know what I mean? He ain't have to take that fight. You know what I'm saying? He could have easily campaigned at 147. I'm just telling you what most likely he's thinking. Like with Canelo has always had issues with his conditioning. He's always gotten tired in the mid to late rounds. And if he's not able to finish you, then he'll just coast to preserve his gas tank. I find it funny that he got caught using clenbuterol because clenbuterol is a substance that opens up your lungs. You know what I mean? And increases your endurance. So I find it funny that a lot of these dudes' weaknesses, they get pop positive for steroids that's supposed to strengthen their weakness. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense. Eddie Hearn is banking on Conor Benn to be his next Tank Davis. Well, I think them steroid allegations. I think them steroid allegations has ruined all of that. I feel like once you test positive for any type of performance enhancement drugs, that's like a stain on your jacket, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You could wear it, you could go out with it, whatever you want to do, but people are always going to notice it, and they're always going to bring it up. You know what I mean? So, I don't think he'll be exactly like Gervonta Davis. Maybe if he just continues fighting and continues coming out clean, people will slowly start to forget about it, but it'll always be around. You know what I mean? It'll always be around. People are always going to question him because of that now. Which is why I don't understand why these guys do it, because if you know that's a possibility of you getting caught with performance enhancement drugs, any type of steroids, it's like, you know, once you get caught, it's like your career always going to have it's going to be smeared. Your reputation going to be smeared, bro. Even when you long gone and retired, people are going to remember the fact that you failed a drug test. Oh, yeah, he was a cheater. That's what people going to say. So I don't even know why you would take that risk. If you that insecure, bro, you in the wrong sport. If you don't believe in yourself, bro, just stop boxing. If you need performance enhancement drugs to build up your confidence, bro, you just not built for the sport, my brother. That's it. People forgot Roy Jones tested positive. Yeah, he definitely did. I gotta see exactly what he tested positive for, but yeah, he definitely did. And I think it got to the point where, like, it wasn't certain commissions wasn't. Anderson Silva did too. Anderson Silva, James Toney. There was a few. You know what I mean? And then there's people who's clearly on it that just never got caught. Like I honestly think Holyfield, that's a whole different subject. Didn't he get cleared to fight? Yeah, I think the British Boxing Board of Control, whatever the hell they call, I think they cleared him or whatever. They trying to like preserve his reputation now, but it's too late, bro. He will always be looked at like that. I gotta look more into that Roy Jones testing positive shit. I gotta see what's up with that. Did he get some type of exemption? Did they just let it go? Like, did they sweep it under the rug? How did they go about that? My boy Chris in the building. Shout out to Chris. That's one of my fighters, man. He said Conor Benn versus Boots. Man, Boots gonna punish that man. He's tailor made for somebody like Boots. I'm gonna tell you why. Ben is gonna take a lot of chances because he's naturally an aggressive fighter. He gonna be right there in front of Boots. Boots ain't gonna have to go look for him or nothing like that. And by nature, Conor Benn is aggressive, so he gonna let his hands go. And you know, when you let your hands go, that's when you're the most vulnerable. I think that Boots is gonna be too fast, too athletic, and I think that his him punching in between Conor Benn shots will get him up out of there. That's what I think. I think that he'll dispose of Conor Benn within 6 rounds. That's what I think. 6 to 7 rounds. I think that he'll break Conor Benn down and get him up out of there. But Conor Benn don't want to take them kind of chances, bro. He don't want to fight no Gervonta Ennis, bro. He don't. My guess, Canelo 3-fight deal, both Mel, Maul, and Errol. You don't think Benavidez in that mix, bro? If I'm Al Heyman, I'm trying everything I can to make Benavidez either the second or last fight, bro. Preferably the last. You don't understand how that's probably the biggest fight that PBC can make with Canelo. Not Earl. Earl coming off a loss right now. That fight's not going to be as big anymore. If you had defeated Crawford, you know what I mean? Maybe. But because he coming off a loss and we don't know exactly what's going on, most likely he going to rematch Terence. That fight not going to be that big. You know what I mean? A lot of people going to think Earl going to be at a disadvantage. You know what I mean? But against Benavidez, that's a dangerous fight, bro. That's a dangerous fight that a lot of people are going to think that Benavidez is going to become the victor, bro. Like, that's a more dangerous fight. There's a more of a fight that fans going to be excited to see. For real. I honestly think that. I think that Benavidez has to be talked about in this deal. He has to convince Canelo. He got to show this man the dollar signs to make this fight happen, bro. Do what you got to do, man, to make that happen, Al. Come on. You can do it, baby. You one of the best businessmen, if not the best businessman in the boxing industry, one of the greatest businessmen to ever be. You know what I'm saying? You could make this shit happen. Floyd tested positive for illegal IVs. That's not true, bro. They said that he was using saline. You know what I mean? If anybody knows what saline is, it's something that helps you rehydrate. Now, what a lot of people were skeptical of was that saline can be used as a masking agent for steroids. You know what I'm saying? It could cover up any substances that is in your system. But Floyd was given an exemption for that. He was allowed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission to do so. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd has consistently been on random blood and urine testing by the WBC for well over a decade, bro, while he was fighting. So, in all honesty, when you look at Floyd and you look at how he's performed and stuff like that, like his performances ain't nothing out of the normal. Like Floyd has always performed to that way. He never looked like he was, like, he always looked like he was sharp, you know what I mean? But he never looked like he was just, like, too strong or, like, something out of the ordinary was going on with Floyd where, like, suddenly he started getting knockouts or suddenly he was just so much faster or, you know what I'm saying? I personally don't think that, but Floyd was exempted for that. He was allowed to do that. He asked permission and he was granted that, you know what I'm saying? And saline is used for rehydration purposes. But like I said, the article that was put out there by that writer, he was just insinuating that he was using it as a masking agent instead of it being for rehydration purposes. And when you listen to like Floyd's old interviews back when he was in his 47, 48, 49 fight, his voice was real hoarse as if he was like he was struggling with with maintaining his hydration. You know what I'm saying? Usually when your voice get hoarse like that, it's because you strain your vocal cords or you need some water. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd said he has had a history of overtraining. You know what I mean? And I remember one time he gave them a urine sample and like his urine was extremely dark, which is a sign of dehydration. ESPN never said that in the article. I'm telling you the article that yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's out there. You know what I mean? But I remember when it came out, cause I was like, damn, don't tell me Floyd cheating. You know what I'm saying? Then I started doing my research, started seeing exactly what was going on. Asked some people that was actually like around Floyd at that particular time, and they broke it down to me. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna jump out the window and say that about Floyd though. Floyd never gave me a reason to think that he was a cheater. Ben wants to fight and retire Kell Brook. Of course he do. Ben wants to stay in the UK, bro, because in the UK, they let a lot of shit slide in terms of drug testing that will not slide over here. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of substances that they're able to use in the UK that's banned over here. So, with that being considered, it's like he don't want to come to the US, bro. A lot of these dudes don't want to don't want to come over to this side. His father didn't want to come over to this side. You know what I'm saying? They were speculating that he was a drug cheat when he fought Gerald McClellan. And then when he was asked to take a drug test, suddenly he fainted. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's not really spoken about as well. And when James Toney was calling out Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn and all them, they didn't even want to step off the porch, bro. They wanted to stay in the UK and just fight each other. And that's what Conor Benn looking to do. He wants to fight other UK fighters. He want to keep shit at the Wembley. He want to keep shit at the O2 Arena. He don't want to come over here and fight no American fighters, bro, unless they washed. Even then, he might bring them over there. You know what I mean? Who got undercard? I'm assuming that you're saying who got undercards, the better undercards, Top Rank or PBC. I'm gonna say Top Rank because I feel like they got the best prospects in boxing. Like I said, they got the Xander. I'm gonna try to name like 10. They got Xander Zayas. They got Jared Anderson. They got Shushu. They got Bruce Carrington. They got Keyshawn Davis. They did have Edgar Berlanga. I'm not gonna mention him. They have Henry LeBron. They got Raymond Mortataya. They got that's 6. They got Richard Torres. I think that's his name. The heavyweight dude. They got Nico Ali Walsh. They got that's 8. They have shit. They got a few, bro. They got some. Like what I'm trying to say is they got some of the best. I think they got the best prospects in boxing. That's what I think. So they got Robesi Ramirez. He's champion now, but he could very well be on the undercard. There's a big fight going on. Well, the list goes on and on, bro. What the fuck is his name? Abdullah Mason. You know what I mean? Like, these are solid. You know what I mean? So, I mentioned all those guys to say, I think that their undercards are more lit because they got better prospects. You know what I'm saying? PBC got some guns now, though. They got Tifo Burleson, who I used to work with. They got Trayvon Marshall. Shit. They had Joey Spencer until that fight with Jesus Ramos. They got some solid dudes too, but Top Rank just they got the best prospects in boxing. That's what I think. People saying they mismatch. I mean, yeah, but that's the process. Some fights do be mismatches. They do, right? But Top Rank is investing a lot of money in these fighters, so with them doing so, they gotta build them up the right way. They just can't throw them in a dog frame right away. Their whole thing is building their stables, like in terms of like Nico Ali Walsh. When he first signed with Top Rank, bro, they was giving him cookies because they understood that this kid was doing a lot of shit wrong. He was definitely green, and You know what I mean? They put him in the best position possible to grow as a fighter. And Nico Ali Walsh, bro, he got a lot of criticism out of me from his pro debut. But you know what I mean? He still has some room to grow. Don't get it wrong. But since his pro debut, he's grown significantly. He's gotten a lot better since his pro debut. You know what I mean? And that's what Top Rank do. They put you in fights that's winnable. So if you want to consider them mismatches, then sure. But it's like when you building somebody that you plan on fighting for a world title or becoming a world champion, whatever the goal is, you got to put them in fights that help them grow their confidence. You know what I mean? Help build their experience. Because once you build up their confidence, once your mental matches up with your physical, that's when you in your prime. You know what I'm saying? So once you get that confidence and experience, and then you staying sharp, staying active, your body staying in top shape. You know what I mean? You fighting constantly throughout the year, and you just starting to build the momentum, and you starting to really believe in yourself and stuff like that. You know, you start to do. You know what I mean? You grow significantly, man. That's what happens. And I feel like Top Rank is one of the best, if not the best, at matchmaking. They build up their fighters real well over there. I'm not a big Top Rank kind of guy, you know what I mean? But I give credit when it's due. Like they got the best matchmaking in boxing, in my opinion. I didn't see his last fight, but if he was in a tough, close fight, that should make him better because he'll learn from that experience. You know what I mean? And I heard this too. I'll take a tough win over a pretty loss. I heard that several times throughout the boxers. And actually, one of the coaches that I help assist, Coach Sharon Baker, the first female boxing coach of Pennsylvania. Coach Sharon Baker. She don't work with Steve Cunningham. She helped out Shane Mosley. She was partners with Brother Nazim Richardson. You know what I'm saying? And she always told me, because there's times where like my amateurs will like edge out like a real close win. You know what I'm saying? I'll just be like, damn, man, I wish that they just did it in a more dominant fashion. And she'll pull me to the side and be like, yo, always accept a pretty win over a tough loss, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if Nico went through a tough fight like that, he almost lost to somebody, hopefully he takes that experience and helps make that. Hopefully he'll see that'll light a fire on him. He'll train harder so he can improve as a fighter. Now that he's experienced that close kind of fight, maybe he could adopt that mentality where it's like, yeah, man, like this fight is not gonna be close. I'm never gonna be in a close fight like that again. You know what I'm saying? So those type of experiences could definitely catapult you to the next level, make you a better fighter. You know what I mean? So shout out to Nico Ali, man. He definitely proved me wrong. Oh, it went to a draw. Wow. Shit. Where was I at? Damn. So that go to show you right there. If somebody, that man is Muhammad Ali's grandson, right? And that's on his promotion. I'm sure that dude wasn't signed with Top Rank or nothing like that. He came on the B side. So if a B-side guy goes into your home turf and gets a draw, then it's very likely that fighter won. You know what I'm saying? That's just boxing politics. I've seen Philadelphia fighters go up against guys. I've seen Philly fighters fight in Philly against B-side guys, lose clearly, like get smoked round by round, and they'll get a draw. So Nico Ali Walsh is fighting. He's a top-ranked fighter on a top-ranked card. They trying to keep Muhammad Ali's legacy alive. So he goes in there with a B-side guy who got nothing to lose. He puts everything on the line, gives Nico a tough fight to the point where they give him a draw. That lets you know who won right there. Why Floyd always wore Mexico colors? I think there's several reasons. For one, shout out to Big Cup of Joe. What's going on, yo? He could be paying homage to his uncle Roger Mayweather, who they called the Mexicutioner at one time. That man used to come out with Mexican colors and knock out Mexican fighters. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that he paying homage to his uncle Roger, who trained him for a long time. It could be because he understood that he fought a lot of Mexican guys. You know what I mean? And I think like a big part of Floyd's formula was just fighting flat-footed Mexican fighters. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And then he also fought during Mexican holidays. He will fight Cinco de Mayo weekend. Then he'll fight Mexico and Mexican Independence weekend. You know what I mean? So a lot of the shit that he did was around the Mexican people. And he got a huge, believe it or not, Floyd has a solid Mexican following. Like he used to get TMT shirts made with the Mexico logo on it. You know what I'm saying? He used to be like, Floyd loved Mexico. He used to call his fight Cinco de Mayweather. You know what I mean? So it could be several different factors as to why Floyd always wore Mexico colors. You know what I mean? I think that he also did it to get inside Mexican fighters' head. Like that whole build up against Oscar De La Hoya, he was just dominating Oscar, getting under his skin from a psychological aspect. You know what I mean? So it could be several reasons. Maybe getting Mexican fighters' head, paying homage to his uncle. It could be him fighting on Mexican holidays. It could be several things, bro. Him just showing love to the Mexican people, that could also be a reason. That guy was 14-9 2 years, so he definitely was a B-side guy. He wasn't supposed to win. So if they granted that man a draw, then most likely Ali didn't win that fight. But I haven't watched it, so I can't speak on it. People saying Mel wearing the Mexican hat September 30th. I mean, why not? Why not keep the tradition alive? A lot of people talk about it's played out and stuff like that, and it kind of is. But why not? I like it. I like seeing that shit. I like the psychological. I like seeing the mental warfare being played out in boxing. I like fighters trying to get under other fighters' skin. You'd be surprised how far you could get with just talking a little bit of shit to the right person. You'd be surprised how far you'll get talking, getting inside a sensitive dude's head. They'll completely forget their whole game plan. They will fall apart. If they mental fucked up, you already know everything else falling apart right along with it. That shit just like Jenga. You keep pulling piece by piece, eventually that motherfucking tower gonna fall. You know what I'm saying? Mexico colors too. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he gonna come out with a big ass lion head. I know that he did last time. Mexican people saying it's disrespectful. It could be taken that way. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, these fighters could be using it to get in these Mexican fighters' head. Yeah, they might find it disrespectful, but then you might find some Mexicans who feel like they're paying homage. I mean, they're showing love to Mexico. So it just depends on who you're talking to. It could be seen as disrespectful. It could be seen as them paying homage. You know what I mean? It could be looked at as several things. We had a pro fighter that came out with a sombrero too. My dad was his manager. His name was Rashid Johnson. He's been a little inactive, but if you look it up on BoxRec, Rashid Johnson, he was a welterweight, 6 foot welterweight that we had. We went to this dude's hometown in Allentown, PA, against a man named Ricky Nuno, who was a Mexican. And we came out with the sombrero, and he had Mexican colored trunks and all. And we came out to Mexican music. We came out to Victor Fernandez. We came out to El Rey. You know what I'm saying? So we played the Mexican thing out to a T, to the point where his fans, Ricky Nuno, the Mexicans fans started cheering because they thought it was him. And then when they seen that it was a black dude, the cheers went to boos real quick. So that was a dope little funny story. I think Shakur Stevenson came out with Mexican colors against Joet Gonzalez too. So, you know, it is what it is, bro. It just depends on the person. Some people might find it offensive. Some people might be flattered by it. You know what I mean? Damn, I already been on here for an hour and 10. Shit. But yeah, man. Good talk, bro. I only be having like 6 to 10 people at the most at one stream, but y'all definitely are supportive, bro. I'll take this 6 over like a lazy 20 people any day. Yep. But yo, like I said, man, I think I put it in the description too. Check out MazumaMerch.com, man. Check out my website. Look through the merch, man. I guarantee you might not like all of it, but you're gonna see something that you like. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see something that you like, man. Cop the merch. Man, I don't want to hear nothing about it being expensive because y'all quick to spend $50 on some Uber Eats. Y'all quick to spend $60 on, you know what I'm saying? On some drinks at the club. Bro, support the merch, man. If you a true boxing fan, if you a part of the sport or you a fan of the sport or both, whatever it is, bro, cop the merch that's for the fighter, that's for the boxing fan. You know what I'm saying? MazumaMerch.com. Salvador would have been pound for pound best Mexican fighter over Julio. In my eyes, he is. Yeah, man, it was just unfortunate how that all panned out because right when he was starting to get somewhere, he passed away, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? So, from the eye test, a lot of people, I hear people say to this day, I heard Mike Tyson say that Salvador Sanchez the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, or his favorite Mexican fighter of all time. You know what I'm saying? It just said that, like, right when he was starting to, you know what I'm saying, pop off and get that recognition he deserved, it just went left on him. You know what I'm saying? I don't question God, but I do feel like that was a little too soon. Kind of like with Edwin Valero. He did that to himself, but right when he was starting to, you know what I'm saying, become that dude, he did something to destroy his career. That man was just wrecking everything in his way and then go and kill his wife. The boxing shit crazy, bro. But any more questions before I get going, man? I'm gonna take like 2 more. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's 12:25. Shit. All right, man. We ain't got no more questions. I satisfied my time for the day. Like I said, I didn't come out with a video earlier today, so I took the time to go on live today and speak to y'all. So I appreciate you guys checking in. The 6, 7 people that's in the building right now. I'm real grateful for y'all. I appreciate you guys coming through and staying in consistently throughout the whole show. I've been on for an hour and 13 minutes now, so, and you know what I mean? If it was just me in here, it'd be tough to keep this shit going, but you guys kept the flow, you know what I mean, and was really sitting there chopping it up with me, so I'm real appreciative of that. Feel free to share the video, man. Share the video. If y'all haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I keep it as real as possible. I try to keep things as objective as possible. You know what I mean? I try to avoid bias to the best of my ability. Unless I feel like a fighter completely wrong, you know what I mean? I try to keep it as, you know what I mean, as neutral as possible. I try to stay as open-minded as could be and try to speak from both sides in the best way possible. Who will win, Andrade or David? I think that a lot. I think this is an uphill battle for Demetrius Andrade. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be his second fight at 168 against arguably the boogeyman of the division. Demetrius Andrade can win this fight, but he's going to have to go back to that 154-pound Demetrius Andrade, who was smart, sharp, fast, good feet, you know what I mean, fast hands. And he still got the fast hands. He still got the good feet. He still has the boxing ability, but I feel like he's gotten more reckless as he's moved up in weight. You know what I mean? He'll throw, like, looping punches and just, like, you know what I mean, just be, like, real sloppy with his work. So he need to go back to the Demetrius Andrade that fought Vanez Martirosyan, the same one that fought Brian Rose. If he's able to pull that back out and get back in that zone, he could definitely possess a lot of problems for David Benavidez, because he has the boxing ability like a Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? But he got more pop than a Caleb Plant. That left hand got some dynamite on it. And here it's Demetrius Andrade, regardless of what people say about him, he hurts a lot of his opponents. He hurts a lot of the opponents that he be in the ring with. You know what I mean? So it's a tough fight. But I got it like 60-40 in Benavidez's favor. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe 55-45. I think it's that close. You know what I mean? But I think David Benavidez, being the bigger guy, being more acclimated to the weight class, I think that pressure going into the later rounds is definitely going to affect Demetrius Andrade, who's not fully acclimated to that weight yet. But if he uses his ring smarts, doesn't gas out, you know what I mean, and is able to stay composed throughout that 12-round fight, he could do it. He could do it. I respect Demetrius Andrade's skill set that much. Canelo fans say Andrade is doo-doo. That's, you know what I mean, that's corny. That's definitely corny as hell. The reason why these Canelo fans be talk about Andrade is because they low-key are afraid of Demetrius Andrade. They fear Demetrius Andrade because he could possibly – anybody who could possibly beat Canelo, them Canelo fans like to talk shit about, like Benavidez. They like to talk shit about Andrade. They was talking shit about the Charlo brothers at one particular time. Throwing shade at Triple G. Whoever's a threat to Canelo, they gonna jump out the window and say some reckless stuff about them, because they want to preserve they want to you know what I mean, they want to defend their guy. But like I said, man, check out the merch, man. Check out MazumaMerch.com. Follow me on Instagram, mark.mazuma, mark.mazuma, and then you can follow my coaching page as well. Check out all my fighters, man, at Coach Mazuma. COACHMAZUMA. All together. I appreciate you guys standing by and watching and giving y'all opinions and giving me stuff to talk about on here. These lives wouldn't be the same without y'all. You know what I mean? Should Benavidez and Andrade be a pay-per-view fight? If they do, it's not going to sell much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to be attractive to the casual boxing fan. The hardcore boxing fans, they're going to be excited about this fight because they finally seeing Andrade get an opportunity. But hardcore fans only going to be able to generate so much pay-per-views, in all honesty. So, if streaming is so popular now, it's like they take fucking cats fighting over there and shit. But, but, you know, because streaming is such a common thing now and people not want to pay for pay-per-views, that just hurts this fight even more. So they might hit the 100,000 range, 200,000 range, but I don't think neither one of them are pay-per-view stars. Andrade isn't. I don't know if Andrade ever even fought on a pay-per-view. Benavidez has fought on pay-per-view, but his popularity is still on the rise. He's just not there yet where he's like considered a pay-per-view star. He's getting there, but he's not there yet. So, in all honesty, should it be a pay-per-view? It's a pay-per-view worthy fight, but does it have that pay-per-view worthy attention to it? No. So, because of that, you know, I wouldn't make this a pay-per-view fight. But, you know, Showtime going to do what they want to do, and they want their return back on their investment. So, it is what it is. But, all right, y'all. I appreciate all the questions. Let me get up out of there. I got to get ready for work in the morning, you know what I'm saying? So, appreciate all you guys reaching out. Appreciate all you guys watching. It's all love, man. Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. Check out the merch. Follow me on all social media platforms. Well, just follow me on Instagram, Mark.Mazuma. That's where I'll be at Coach Mazuma and all that good stuff, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a blessed night. I'll be back with some more videos tomorrow morning. And I'm out of here. Peace.